Okay, so here are my thoughts on the WWE Divas Revolution. So to get in depth in this rant, I should say, we have to talk about the past of the division, the present being the Revolution, and the future of where I want the division to go. So let's first start with the past. And when I mean past, I mean about 2 to 5 years ago. Because that's when I seen most of the problems and sparks of life in the division at the time. So we're going to go from 2 to 5 years back. So, let's go back. Let's think about it. Kelly, Layla, people like that. Who else? Candice Michelle. People, wrestlers like that. Back then, that's what WWE was focused on. And I'm not blaming the girls. I'm blaming basically WWE, being Vince McMahon. Vince McMahon had this idea that since Trish could do it, any other model could do it. And that simply was not the fact. Like, it was really, really bad at that point. They were only hiring models at that point. That's why so many of the wrestlers left, like Mickie James and Gail Kim. Like, the division was looking down. And it was sad for divas like Natalya, who was there at that point, and Beth Phoenix, who actually had wrestling experience, but since they were not quote-unquote divas, they cannot be put into that same mold, in that same category to be Divas Champion, which really lacked in the division, which brought it down. But like said, that's the past, so now we gotta look at the present. The present is being the Divas Revolution. That started on July 13th. Somewhere in July, it happened. Alright? And they brought up the NXT Divas. NXT is not the minor leagues of WWE, but it's the lower division, right? So you have to start there to get here. So people like Charlotte, there's Bayley down there still. There was Emma, but they ruined her character. There was who else? Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks, the boss. Now, I love all these girls, and I love what they did with them down there. But this is what we gotta think about the present. The present is that they're doing the Divas Revolution. I see. Now they have Team Bad, Beautiful and Dangerous. They have Team Paige, or whatever you want to call them, the Submission Sorority, or PCB, and they got Team Bella. Team Bella represents the past of WWE Divas. Like I was talking, when they hired models, they were 2 fitness models that were brought in. There were 2 models brought in. And, over the course of the years, they learned how to wrestle. And so, they're fitting that Trish Stratus type of mold. Not to the extent that Trish did, but they're fitting it enough well that we can let them carry the business, which is what they're doing. And then they have Alicia Fox, who is already a developed character, who is a very good wrestler in my opinion, and she's on their side. Then you have the new upstarts. You have Team Bad and Team PCB, right? That's what I'm just going to go about. Right? So Team Bad is formed with Tamina, Naomi, and Sasha Banks, right? And it makes sense because their characters, well, Naomi and Tamina are basically cousins or sisters, as they say. And Sasha Banks has that whole sassy type of character that it makes sense that she fits in with Naomi, that being that she's a heel, it makes sense that she's put into that group. So, and then you have the face group, the only face group, which is kind of crazy, but it's Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Paige. Now, here's the thing about that. I understand they wanted to bring up the NXT upstarts, but where's Bayley? Like, I understand that they need at least somebody down there that's likable to stay down in NXT, but they had the whole interview calling them the 4 horsewomen and everything, and it made sense if you brought them all up and you put Bayley, Becky Lynch, and Charlotte together and had Paige be the revolutionary and actually try to be the rebel of the group, of everything, try to stay on her own path. But, you know, I see what they're doing, but that's something I would have liked to see, is Bayley to come up. But they have to actually develop some of their female wrestlers down in NXT before they could bring Bayley up, because there's really, with Charlotte, Becky Lynch, and Sasha gone, it's lackluster down there right now. They're trying to bring up Eva Marie as one of her top heels, which is surprising to me. I saw some of her training. She's okay. She's okay for what she did, but, you know, she still got some way to go. And I don't even remember some of the other divas. Like, that's how bad it is down there right now. But, I know there's Eva Marie and Bayley. So, what I want to see now is, right now, in the present, I should say, what would I like to see? I like what they're doing with the teams, you know, dominant. But the thing is, what about Natalya? What about Rosa Mendes? What about the other divas? Like, they're just completely cut out of the fray of anything that is being done in the division right now. Like, it's kind of sad. You can kind of tell where it's going. I'm not saying they're going to be released, but I'm saying they're going to be pushed to the back. Like, become jobbers. Become the job squad, of course. You know, you always need a job squad of any promotion. You have to have some jobbers. And it's sad that Natalya's going to be it. Being that she's an older diva, it makes sense. But like someone like Rosa Mendes, who's actually trying to come up, you know, it's kind of sad. But you can see that's where that's going. But now they're going to SummerSlam, and it's all three teams going head to head. I personally want to see Charlotte versus Nikki versus Sasha in a triple threat for the Divas Championship. Because, one, I want it off of Nikki. I'm sorry, I'm not a Bella fan. I'm not a Bella fan at all. But I want it off of Nikki. And I want it on either Sasha or Charlotte. It's either those two, because those are the two, minus Paige, the two most over divas in the division as of now. So it only makes sense that it goes to one of them. I'm sorry about Naomi or Tamina and stuff. They've been there for a while. I can see them getting it down the line. But like, you know, one thing that struck a chord with me, a good chord, is what Charlotte said in her promo. In her promo that came up on Raw, I think a week or this week ago. Which is what we're going to get into the future of this. So now we have to think of the future. Where do I see this division going? I see it going in good places, actually. With people like Ronda Rousey backing it, being that she basically was the push for this. Like, you know, Stephanie McMahon being a big supporter of women's, you know, rights and being just like the men. You know, Triple H now actually backing the division, even though he wanted it gone at one point. But being that they have so many backs to this, I can see it only going in good places. Now, where do I see this in a year or two? I can see us having another Divas main event. Now, that's by the point where I think Bayley should be up. I think Eva should be developed down in NXT. You know, it should take it's going to take some time before we get anywhere near a main event. But I can see them main eventing very, very soon. So, what about in a couple years? Now, like I said earlier, I said that Charlotte has struck a chord with me because she said she wanted to main event WrestleMania. And you know, I'm a big woman supporter. I'm not going to say it can't happen because we don't know anything that happens in the WWE. They can do anything they want, really. And Stephanie being the principal owner, she can make it happen if she wanted to. But only if she feels as though it's best for business. If she thinks it's at the right time, at the right moment, that the Divas should main event a pay-per-view, especially something like WrestleMania, I can see that happening. But she has to see it at the right time. Now, Stephanie, you know, they say she's the originator of the Revolution. I see it as Ronda Rousey and Paige. But Stephanie gets the ball rolling. And we see that maybe one day that the Divas will main event Raw again, which will be a big step in my book for the Divas. Then we can see them actually either co-main eventing a pay-per-view or actually main eventing a pay-per-view. I can see like something like Money in the Bank. Like we could have a Diva in a Royal Rumble again, probably like Charlotte or somebody. And somebody in the Money in the Bank will be something cool and stuff. But we have to have somebody who's really developed. And that person that I'm seeing, I'm a big Charlotte mark. I'm sorry I keep saying Charlotte and Sasha. But Charlotte or Sasha, I can see them going into the Royal Rumble or Money in the Bank. Or something like Survivor Series. If they ever actually let a woman on a team, it will be them. But being that we're in the PG era, I don't think they'll let them fight men. But if they did, that would be great. You know, go girls. But that's what I see happening. So, you know, to wrap it all up, where I see them coming in the future is we're going to be main eventing some pay-per-views. We're going to be main eventing, you know, Raws. We're going to be doing outrageous things. What I want to see with this, but with this angle right now, I want to see the belt taken off of Nikki. I'm just going to say that now. That's the future that I see for the angle right now. The belt being taken off of Nikki. That will keep the ball rolling for more pay-per-view storylines and, you know, sprout out. We could have like, we could start out with the Sasha and Charlotte again. We could keep that going because we all know about their history. Everybody knows about their history. And we can go with Nikki and Paige. And we could go with Naomi and Tamina versus Brie and Alicia. Like, there's so many possibilities that they can be going with and storylines that could be going with, but they're not rolling that ball just yet. I think that they're holding back all their guns until it's time for them to be released. So that's my thoughts on the future of the WWE Divas Revolution. So I hope you liked my video on the Divas Revolution. If you did, please put a like down below. And please comment on this and tell me what you didn't like about the video. Give me some critiques, more, you know, comments about it. Plus, you could subscribe and tell me about more videos that you want to see from me. Being a female mark, being that I love wrestling, and that I know a lot about the business. So if you want to see more, subscribe down below, comment down below, tell me what you want to see, tell me what you want me to talk about, and maybe we can have some Q&As, maybe we can do stuff like that, maybe we can do, you know, some reviews of Raw, SmackDown. I don't watch SmackDown, but I'll watch it for you guys if you actually want me to, and, you know, we can go from there. So thanks for watching my first wrestling video of the Divas Revolution, and I'll see you later.